start recording.
Just wait till we're on firm ground. Is it the potholes you're worried about here?
No, like what I'm gonna say.
Oh.
I'll just talk and use the power, magic of editing to make this more cohesive.
I was about to say the power of Poseidon.
No,
Because there's water outside.
let's see. Hello everyone, Ben here, and recently it was my birthday, actually about 3 days ago, March, I won't reveal that information, but recently was my birthday, and in the past few weeks, a lot of things have happened in my life. A lot of new decisions have been made that are going to affect the course of my future. And so I'm just going to share a little bit about that. So, because, yeah, it's been a very exciting, good week, but somewhat stressful, and thought-provoking. Somewhat stressful and very thought-provoking because, of the decisions I've made recently that are going to change things. Essentially, I don't think I'm going to be going to China anymore for school. I don't know when I'll be able to go to China in general again, but my big plan was to go to China to get a degree in traditional Chinese martial arts so that I could work in China, because I kind of don't want to work in Canada for various reasons, but I'll save that for another video. I can't even remember if I already made one talking about that, like living in Canada and why, and things I don't like about living in Canada. But one of the big reasons why I decided not to pursue studies in China or abroad is because I learned from an international student or person, a foreigner. I mean, when I'm in China, they call us foreigners, so I'm going to call her a foreigner. So I learned recently from a foreigner to Canada that if I were to go abroad and get a degree from any East Asian country, like Korea, Japan, or China, and then I decided, okay, after a few years, I'm done getting my education there, done working there for a little bit, I want to come back to Canada and use that degree to get a job, because a lot of jobs have the requirement of having a degree. And if I want to continue my studies as well, if I came back to Canada with that degree, it'd be hard to not only get a job that requires a degree, but it would be very difficult, if not impossible, to use that whatever degree I get in China to continue to do further education, like to get a graduate degree, like a master's. And the thought I had was to go and get a traditional Chinese martial arts degree or physical education degree, and after living abroad, because I really want to, I would like to live outside of Canada, that I would then come back and pursue something in physiotherapy, pursue a master's in physiotherapy, because my original plan was to go to China, learn something physical, because that's what I like, I'm interested in. And so I'd come back and be able to eventually get a degree and work in the physiotherapist space. But I learned that because that would be very difficult, if not impossible, that it makes more sense for me to try and pursue studies here, because I need to think about my future, like further than 10 years down the line, when I've gotten a degree in China and I've enjoyed the experience of learning, studying, and working there. After 10 years, where would I like to be? And I think that place might be Canada, and I need to think about what would enable me to continue progressing in a career or studies here that could also benefit me outside. So I've shifted to wanting to pursue studies in Canada, but I'm trying to do it in a smart way, because I'm not coming straight out of high school. I've gotten 2 diplomas, so I'm a bit older now, and I'm thinking about different goals. And as a result, I need to think about ways I can sustain myself financially if I am pursuing studies. So that, let's say I meet somebody and we're gonna think about a future together, I need to be able to support myself. Just for being an independent adult as well, I need to be able to support myself. So I've been thinking about how I can pursue degree studies here in Canada, so that not only so that my degree is useful here, but in a way that allows me to support myself as best as I can. And so I looked at options, I did a lot of research. One idea was online universities, but this foreign lady that I was talking about before, that I mentioned before, was recommending I don't do that, because if I go to school online, I'm not gonna be meeting people and seeing people in person, and that's gonna really affect my job prospects or just my overall knowledge of the industry I'm studying and my ability to get work in the future, because I'm not talking to people who might inform me of something that would be very useful in pursuing a career related to those studies. My network would just not be there because I'm not seeing real people, and I wouldn't know the professors because I wouldn't be seeing them in person. And that, to our point, it does make a difference when you're seeing people on a campus versus online. Like relationship building and connections and network, it does really affect things. So I took her point, and yeah, I started looking at options to study on campus at different universities. I looked at U of T, I looked at Queen's University, I looked at McMaster University. And so the way I think might work best for me is going into a program, like I said, that allows me to work so I can sustain myself, so I can maintain my independence in a way, and so I can work towards future goals financially. And the degree studies essentially need to allow for flexibility, and that's essentially the smart way I'm going about this, trying to find a degree program that allows me to study, work towards that degree, and work essentially. And the other thing I'm thinking about is the other reason why I think this is a good decision to stay in Canada and pursue my degree studies and work is because I'm just going to be closer to family, and I think that's an important thing to consider. If I went abroad, I was thinking of them too, like opportunities that an abroad education might provide, like the connections, the ability to, if I establish myself abroad, like we don't know how things are going to be in any country, and so having flexibility I always think is a good thing. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't assume any place you invest in or any investment in a company you make is like, you shouldn't invest everything you have into that one place or one thing. And so I think it was a good idea to try and go abroad to get studies so that I could expand more or less our social network. A bunch of other personal reasons why I wanted to go abroad, but that was one thought. And so now my thinking is shifted to getting getting educated someplace that will allow me to still work and work abroad. So a degree in Canada or the US does allow for that flexibility to continue studies in other countries and often work in other countries. But during these degree studies, I will be closer to home, or literally right now living at home. So I think that's one thing I've thought more about lately, is the fact that continuing studies here will mean I'll be closer to family to support in whatever little ways I can. And so that's the big decision I've made since 3 weeks before my birthday, and that's what's gonna affect the next few years, with many more birthdays to come. So that's really it for this video. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.